I'd like to move on to our next paper, where we can welcome David Poltrack and Bill Harvey back to the stage to demystify for us monetizing holistic viewer insight. Thank you.
Good morning. Those of you that were at the Rethink conference may be familiar with this football stadium analogy that I used to describe the new television environment. I asked the audience to imagine that they are in a football stadium with 15 million people in the seats. And imagine you have been given total control of all of the audiovisual facilities in the stadium. Also, 10 of the 15 million people in the seats are connected to the internet by smartphone or tablet. What would you do? You probably wouldn't just run a 30-second commercial. Well, that is today's network television primetime environment. Each night, there are one or more primetime programs offering you this opportunity. And with the rapid rise of social media and emerging second screen opportunities, marketers today can do far more with their network television program sponsorship than in the past. This is the enhanced potential of broadcast network television. For advertisers to effectively tap this enhanced potential, they need to employ new research tools designed to measure all aspects of this new cross-platform video environment. I'm now going to get out of the way and turn the stage over to Bill Harvey, who will show how advertisers can employ these new tools today. So now I give you Bill Harvey, the newly crowned master of demystification.
Thank you. Thank you, David.
Stay here.
Second screen usage. We're going to look at some numbers in a second, which will be much higher than the numbers that Artie and Dwayne just showed. But interestingly enough, we come to the exact same conclusions about what to do about it. And again, we're starting from the measurement mandate. The only thing that counts is growing brand sales and long-term brand equity. So therefore, we have to focus on what gets us to that, the benefit that we can get from this phenomenon of second screen usage. We're looking here at Symphony Advanced Media's almost 10,000 people, nationally representative of the 70% plus of the population that have either a smartphone or a tablet. And among that sample, looking at the average minute, we see 32% of people watching television in prime time. Dwayne and Artie were looking, I'm not sure at prime time or the whole day, but in prime time, 32% in the average minute concurrently using a second screen while watching TV. And of course, there's distractive effects, and the good news is there's also beneficial effects that can be taken advantage of to grow brand sales. During the ad pods, the 32% goes up to 40%. So let's take a look at one aspect that Symphony calls social tasking, meaning that the concurrent usage of the second screen is focused on socializing with another human being electronically, tweeting in the case of this slide. And the result is that tune away from commercials is reduced among people who are tweeting substantially, as you can see from this slide. This is a more complex slide. This is about ad recall, actually recognition, seeing a 30-second commercial replayed. Have you seen it before in the last 2 weeks? And among the people who are concurrently social tasking, as just defined, there's actually an increase in recall, a substantial increase in ad recall. Now, there's another study cited on this slide, and incidentally, there's a lot more information in the paper. Jack Wachschlag in 2012, using biometrics, Interscope, did a study which showed that during co-viewing, where there's two people in the same room watching TV together, there's a 30% increase in engagement, biometric engagement. He also found that if there are not two people in the same room, but two people who are doing social tasking, it's also 30%. Quite interesting. In other words, there's something about another human being, whether they're present or not. If we're socializing, it makes us more alert, and that rubs off positively on advertising. The other thing that Jack's study found was that concurrent ads on the second screen, while they're also on the main screen, the increase in recall is 135%, more than double. Now, how can you use this? You could use this as an additional attentional metric. Those of you who saw me receive my award yesterday, I mentioned that Erwin Efron was a fan of the idea of measuring the attentional disposition of audiences to different programs. Well, that's actually what social tasking is a correlate of. Therefore, why not weight the value of a buy based not only on targeting density, but also based on this attentional factor? Then there's another orthogonal aspect of social media called affinity, by a company called Affinity Answers, which measures the degree to which people engage with a brand or a program by either liking it or sending a tweet about it, posting. And if you look here at the affinity, where the same people are engaged with a brand and engaged with a show, you see there are certain shows. How I Met Your Mother, highly engaged people are also highly engaged with Hyundai. That could signal an opportunity for a sponsorship, a branded integration, a integrated use of second screen, concurrent ad on both second screen and main screen for cases like Hyundai and How I Met Your Mother. This could be a selection device for where do you take that extra effort to integrate content more than just a 30-second commercial, as Dave mentioned. So what if you put this all together? This, in my mind, is the key takeaway slide from a standpoint of action and building brand sales. This is a recommendation that, as an industry, we begin to think in terms of this simple template that is compatible with the idea of building brand sales and compatible with the idea of building long-term brand equity and compatible with the idea of programmatic buying. What this says is, let's take a look at these new metrics that are coming out of the complex viewing environment, and let's see if we can correlate them with ROI. Are they ROI predictors? We know that social tasking is a predictor of ad recall. Could that also mean it's a predictor of ROI? Seems likely. So let's do that research. Now, TRA has done that with its target density metric, its true target index, TTI, so that what you see in that balloon at the bottom of the slide is that if, for example, you increase your target density 10%, ROI on average will go up 7%. That's the relationship, a 0.7 relationship. Now, if we can get a simple relationship like that for that kind of a metric, why can't we get it also for social tasking, or for affinity, or for anything else we detect has some positive effect on ad receptivity? Everything correlated with ROI is consistent with Joan Lewis's mandate that all we care about is sales. So let's correlate all the targeting data we use in making digital buys. Let's correlate all of the data we use, attentional factors, everything to ROI. That's the idea here. Some takeaways, other takeaways, social media and offers on both screens simultaneously, increasing the involvement with the program by having side notes that might be interesting about the program on the second screen, and keeping that under the control of the program creators, because they're the ones who are going to do it the best. Let me turn it back to Dave Poltrack to wrap this up. I don't think you need that, actually.
Thank you, Bill. At CBS Vision, we stand ready to collaborate with our advertisers in putting these new measurement tools to work towards assuring that they get the full benefit of this new enhanced television advertising environment. But that's not all CBS has for you today. Be sure to join us at 2 p.m. for the announcement of the results of our groundbreaking study with Nielsen of the long-term effects of television advertising. See you at 2 p.m. Thank you.